Rightio. So we're making our pizza dough here, so we add 300 mils of lukewarm water to our bread mixer. We get it to do all the work for us. So then we add one satchel of your baker's yeast you can get from your supermarket. So we add that in. Then after we've added the yeast in, we'll get some sugar, and it's just do a good healthy pinch of sugar in there just to make the yeast a little bit more active, so it gives you a nicer fluffier white bread. Now we just dry that cup out, measuring cup out, so we can now use it to measure out our flour. So we'll give that a good dry out there. Get it ready there. So we put 300 mils lukewarm water in there, and we're going to put 3 cups of plain flour in. So it's a pretty easy recipe to remember. Now just adding a little bit of oil as well to the mix, so it's probably a dessert spoon worth of oil goes in there then. So here we go with our 3 cups of flour. That's 2 cups in. One more. So here we go. So 1 more cup there. Just give it a bit of a shake to make sure it's nice and level. So we've definitely got 3 cups. So take it over to the bread maker. So we get it to make the dough, so it'll take an hour and a half to prove this dough. So we just put her in there. We also put a pinch of salt. So probably, you'll see it in here, I'll just put it in my hand so you can see how much salt I've actually added. So about that much salt, just to make it a little bit nicer. So now we're going to set the bread maker on its cycle, which takes an hour and a half, which is perfect timing, because now, while that's mixing there as it is, I'm going to go outside, and then I'm going to set up the pizza oven and get it fired up. So here we are outside. We just put a bit of form ply down there to take the weight of the pizza oven. It's nearly 200 kilos, so I use that so it doesn't get stuck in the grass. So we'll wheel our pizza oven out. So got it on wheels, which makes it nice and easy and very mobile. So out she goes there now, and set it up there, because it takes a good hour for a pizza oven to get up to temperature so that it's not smoking as much. The fire starts burning clean, so you don't have smoke all through your food, whether it's a roast or a pizza or a bread. So you get that. So it's always good to get it going about an hour before you actually need it. So I'll set that up there, and now I'm going to give you a bit more of an explanation of it all. Yeah, so this pizza oven I've built myself. What I've done is, with the normal pizza oven, like this design had a much smaller door, so I made the door a lot bigger, so I can actually do roasts in here, like roast lamb, chickens, turkey, whatever, even roast beef. So if you're looking for a pizza oven, highly recommend the bigger the door, because if it's only doing pizza, it's just one thing. But if you've got a larger door, you can do a lot of different things. This one is the full setup here, so we've got our fire bricks in here, and there's a gap right around the edge for the heat to come up from the firebox below, and it's actually got a 50mm cavity around the outside where it's got heat rocks encased. So it's fully encased. So the inside's 5mm plate steel, outside's 3mm. So the whole thing weighs just on 200 kilo. That's why it's a little bit hard to move around, but it's mobile, so I can move it anywhere around the place. So if there's a store on this side, I can move it around the other side of the house on the other veranda. So it's not stuck in a position, and when I'm not using it, it's in out of the weather. So that's the main cooking area, and I've got a little thermometer up here so I can keep an eye on what I'm doing. Now down in the firebox, I've got adjustable vents here on the firebox to increase or decrease the heat as I need to be. So with pizzas, I have it going flat out as hot as I can. Does a really nice pizza. But if I'm doing a roast, I cut it right back so it just simmers away and cooks the roast nicely without burning it or making it too dry. So the firebox, just like most other ones, nice setup in there. So that's my pizza oven in a nutshell. But yeah, as I recommend, the bigger the door, the better, because you can do a lot of other things in there other than pizza. So you can cook cakes. I cook bread in it, like I do cook my own bread in there as well when I've got it going, so great little thing to have the big door there. So now I'll get some timber and get it going so we can cook our pizzas. So now I'll just get a little bit off. I'm going to roll this out nice and thin. Let's get the dough off my hands now. One nice thin pizza. You've got to have a nice flat bench, otherwise it will stick. Not perfectly round my pizzas, as you can tell. But if you a little bit of tear there, that's alright. So, grab our pizza tray. I'll put baking paper on it. Stop it sticking. If you're real pedantic, you can actually make it round with your hands when you put it in the tray, like that. So this is the dough that we prepared earlier. So it's been going for an hour and a half it takes to prove it properly. So I get a little bit of oil, just a tiny bit of oil in the middle, probably half a tablespoon if you measured it. And I get my garlic. So you can put tomato sauce on, like tomato paste on here if you like tomato paste. Some pizzas you do. But I like garlic and oil. There we go, so it's all spread out, so I've got garlic and oil on the entire base. Now this one's going to be a spinach and pizza. Spinach, pine nut, pumpkin and feta, this one. On there. Grab some pumpkin that I've cut up before there. So I've found with the pizzas, the simpler the flavour, the nicer it is. So less is more. If you start putting too many ingredients on it, it gets a bit crowded and doesn't taste as nice. That's probably enough pumpkin on that one. Some feta on there, so just break up in your hands and sprinkle across the top. Just wash my hands so I can put some pine nuts on there. There we go, getting the pine nuts. On the left one there. And this one, I'm just going to put parmesan on. sprinkling parmesan, a bit of salt and pepper. She's ready to roll, this one. So because the pizza oven's sitting at about 250 degrees out there at the moment, it'll take about 8 to 10 minutes and this will be fully cooked. So it's extremely fast, so you've got to watch it. It's not something you set and forget. A little bit of salt. Don't need a lot because the feta will give you the salt, but a good dousing of pepper's always nice. Rightio, so pizza's cooked, we've just got to get him out of the oven here now. So opening up, got the mittens on because it's very hot, so here we go, have a look at that. Now we're going to cut him up. The best part of all, we slice him up to enjoy him. So if you leave him in too long, it's only took about 8-9 minutes to cook that, so we don't want to leave him in too long and cook him too much. You notice I did it on an oven tray rather than put it on the bare Fibrix, and I find it toasts the bottom of the pizza just fine, so it's a lot easier to handle. So yeah, one lovely pizza, fantastic.